Hello, everybody. This is Ken Bone here. Today we're doing Frack the Console. Today we have CJ McCree uh, and Renee Mendoza. And we are going to take a look at the Metroid Dread trailer.
So that's like technically like $50 out of my pocket as soon as that comes out.
All right. So, October 8th, 2021. So it's coming out pretty soon. Pretty stoked for that. From that trailer, what did you think, CJ?
I think it looks awesome, and the thing is like, I Nintendo games are a cheat, right? Like they're all awesome. We all like all their IPs. We were talking about Zelda, freaking earlier, but like freaking, and by earlier I mean in another, show that you're watching, whatever, Anyways,
Somewhere on
freaking
the timeline in the multiverse.
right. But we were talking about Zelda earlier. We mentioned Mario, like Nintendo IP, like it snatches your attention because it's always something you're interested in, and that's a credit to Nintendo. Like it's not just because it's this game that's been around for a while. Like usually they're pretty good games. You know what I mean? Metroid is one of them. I haven't played a lot of Metroids. I'm not a big first person shooter fans, and the newer ones were like Prime, and that's kind of what that was. But there always were 2D ones, and I usually kind of kept up with those. But this looks great. It looks like it takes the 2D like isolationist kind of vibe of Metroid, but then adds like this almost like survival horror element to it, like this dominating force that's like constantly kind of following you. And I didn't necessarily get that from the trailer. I did watch the Treehouse Live follow up to this, and one of the directors of the game just kind of talked at the camera for like a good 10 minutes before they went to the Treehouse Live, and like it was very illuminating, like him talking about the development of this game. Did you get a chance to check that out at all, Kenny?
I I didn't see that. I watched a little bit more and a couple of other like sort of in depth looks on it.
Mm.
Um, and I know that people were shocked to get this and not Metroid Prime 4. Um, but I know they kind of mentioned Metroid Prime 4 is being reworked. They weren't happy with the direction it was going in, and so they said we want to redo it. But in the meantime, we're getting this, which is Metroid 5, which isn't a part of the Prime, but still a part of the whole story.
Mm.
Um, and like you had said, like a Mario game, a Metroid game, or a Zelda game, like people are gonna be excited for those. Those are kind of Nintendo's like 3 pillars. As long as they're making one of those, fans can be happy. And I think they would have to really stray away from the mechanics or the core of the character to not sell or not do well for
fans. I think it's interesting. One of the things, going back a little bit to what to that little interview that I was watching with one of the developers, how he was saying, you had mentioned that this is like the first 2D Zelda since I think Fusion, and this, he had mentioned, this is a direct follow-up to that, and I think that's interesting. It was something that he had mentioned was supposed to come out, like they were working on like 15 years ago.
Yeah. So that makes sense, because I was watching that trailer, I get really big Metroid Fusion vibes from it. One in the survival horror aspect, like you brought up, like in Metroid Fusion, you're running away from Samus. Like you're Samus, but there's the forget the name of the alien creatures, but they replicate Samus, and like it's like kind of terrifying. It's almost like RoboCop's chasing you, like, or not RoboCop, sorry, Terminator. Like a T-1000's chasing you, and like you feel powerless against it. This feels like they've done that in a similar way, and they've added some like stealth mechanics and expanded upon it. So that's what excites me when I see this trailer.
Yeah, like the gameplay, like it just looks unique. You know what I mean? It looks like a great game. It looks pretty awesome. And it, in a fall, we just kind of finished E3, in a fall that is filling up with games that want my money. This is something unique that it speaks to me. You know what I mean?
That's a good point. I guess like on the E3 list, like does this rank in one of your must-have games that they announced from the E3?
I want it. You know what I mean? Like I want it. I want to play this game. It just, there are things around that era. I can't remember when Battlefield's coming out, but that's around there. And that trailer, you seen the Battlefield trailer?
Yeah,
like
that one was pretty hype.
Sheesh. Like freaking that game looks freaking awesome, dude. But like, you know what I mean? Like, but it's just a multiplayer experience. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And when they've said no single player for that one, so it'll be pure multiplayer. Whereas this is going to be a purely single player game. So it's
exactly. Like so there's room for both in my life. You know what I mean? Like presumably, you know what I mean? Like, but we'll just have to see, like, this fall. And I talk about being an Xbox gamer. I'm happy that Xbox has such a great deal of Game Pass, like where it's just another freaking subscription to me. And I have like freaking access to all these freaking games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, catalog. Yeah.
Right.
There's a Switch. You gotta kind of be precise on what you're buying, I guess.
Exactly. But having that on Xbox, where I primarily do that also, I feel like that frees me up to more on the Switch. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay,
total side note,
for free, I can just buy this on the Switch.
Yeah. All right. Any final thoughts?
The only final thought I have is I'm always a music guy, freaking, especially I love video game music. I like the music in the trailer, and I can hear the like classic kind of Metroid theme, just like really eerily in there. I like Metroid music too. I think it's great.
Yeah, when you hear that, the slight beeps and like, I don't know how to describe it, other than like a tingle up the back of your neck, you know it's going to be a Metroid game. So that's a great point. All right, that is Frack the Console for this week. I've been your host, Kenneth Jasper. I've been joined by the lovely CJ, and you guys enjoy the day.